The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the June 6th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off early to steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Now, of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, and you should be, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day out here with a sea of green, a rally, 504 points for the Dow, 72 for the S&P, 280 for the NASDAQ, 135 for the Russell, 223 for the Trendies, 89 for the semis. You've got gold that's off $24 right now. Silver's up 31 cents. Electric crude is up $1.12. Natural gas up 2 pennies. If we take a look at my right-hand panel of the market analyzer, so to speak, you can see a number of stars here with 8s. That's the NASDAQ 100. That is the NASDAQ Composite. That is the QQQ. That is the NQs out there. So what do we want to take a look at? Let's take a look at, well, we're not going to take a look at on some of the other charts. Let's just put up the Qs out here so you can take a look at it. So the NASDAQ 100 has certainly given us a signal that it is preparing for some type of at least short-term top. Now, yesterday, I'm just going to open up this. I'm going to try to open this up to take a look at the daily time frame. Yesterday, so you can see Rhodes Momentum Indicator signals are triggered. Those require bearish reversal candles. There's basically about 7 candles that you need to know. If you know 7 bearish reversal candles, the opposite are the 7 bullish reversal candles. You don't need to know all 50 or 100 or 75 or 25 or how many. You don't need to do that. They're interesting, but they don't really help us to identify turns. In this case here, yesterday's bearish engulfing candle confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Now, that's the first element, right? Is there a top or not? What's the second element? Where's price trading in relationship to support and resistance? Well, in this instance here, we are above resistance. Resistance would be that green oscillator and change line, currently printed at 528.13. The second level of resistance would be the top of its profile. The top of the profile would be 522.30. Because we have been above the top of the daily profile for more than 2 consecutive sessions, and because it was a bearish structured profile, meaning the center was closer to the top than to the bottom, what this tells us is that a counter trend move to the downside would find support between 518.12 and 522.30. If price were to close below that, that's telling us something different. That different could mean just getting back to the profile support level at 509.76. That's the daily pattern. How about the weekly pattern with regard to the NQ? Well, herein lies its problems. And maybe what this is telling us is to prepare for a short-term pullback, because the weekly time frame chart is nothing but bullish. It's got that nice Gartley buy pattern. It's got that nice TD9 count bottom pattern. Price is now above profile resistance, above its green oscillator and change line. That wants to go tackle the all-time high. Oh, did I really do that? Son of a gun. Okay. Well, we'll just, I'll have to deal with that during the break. So in any event, what I was trying to show you was that the Qs on a weekly basis say they want to head higher. The monthly time frame chart has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That would need to close above 540.81 to negate that signal out there. Yeah, since I kind of screwed this up, I won't continue with that. If we go down a little bit further, we see NVIDIA and Microsoft. They also will go ahead and likely confirm a TD9 count topping pattern today. Let's just go right over to. No, let's do this here. Kind of screwed myself up a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go take a look at the daily equity future contracts. You don't care what I do. Let's go take a look at the daily equity future contracts here. So I'll tie that into the next thing. So we already covered the NQ. Let's take a look at the ES Mini. The ES Mini yesterday had a key reversal bar. What's a key reversal bar? Key reversal bar requires three things. Number one, you've got to be in an extended condition. Well, trust me, when you have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal triggered, you're in an extended condition. Number two, the high and low of the prior bar needs to be exceeded. Well, that took place yesterday. And number three, price has got to close in the opposite direction of the trend. You also, in this case here, needed an up day the prior day, which we got for the ES Mini out there. But a close above yesterday's high would negate that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Yesterday's high is 60.1650. So close above 60.1650 negates that signal. Does that matter? Not necessarily, because today is going to become bar number 8 of a TD9 count pattern. Friday or Monday, we would get bar number 9 if price were to close above 59.8150. So we're in bar number 8 here. I'm going to switch over. You can always come back to the daily equity future contract, but I'm going to switch over to my VIX chart, and that's the lower right-hand panel. So on the lower right-hand panels, we take a look at the VIX, and it's got the TD9 count tools on there. If we go back to March 26, we got to a TD9 count bottom, bar number 9, and then we saw, obviously, quite the rally out there. The next time we get a TD9 count bottom pattern was on May 2nd. It was a TD9 count bottom pattern, that rally. We saw a rally that lasted for basically 4 trading sessions as price got up towards that oscillator and change line. What it really did was it got up to the 50-day exponential moving average on May the 7th. That's after forming the TD9 count bottom on May the 2nd. It looked at the 50-day, looked over the edge, and said, nope, I'm going to stay on this side. That was the bullish side for the market. The next TD9 count bottom that forms, bar number 8 on May 16th. What does price do there? Rallies right up into not only the 50-day exponential moving average, but its TD9 count breakdown resistance at 35.2562. Well, guess where we are today? Today we are in bar number 8 of another TD9 count pattern. So is today the low? Could be. Is Monday the low? Could be. Is Tuesday the low? Could be. Now, I would say more likely today or Monday. The last 3 patterns out there formed on, we had 1 on bar 9, 2 on bar 8. We're in bar number 8 today. We're also in letter G. That is a 7th wave move to the downside. That needs a lower high. So the trade may be, quite frankly, just to simply play a very short-term volatility trade out there, whether that's at today's end or it's on a Monday out there. Just something to consider. What I would expect or anticipate, based on the patterns, is that the spot VIX would rally up to its 50-day exponential moving average. That's where it could or should move up to. But the TD9 count resistance level, should that in fact form, is actually going to be at 2055. So whether it gets up to the 50 or not, I don't know. But that would be the TD9 count breakdown resistance level that should form on Tuesday. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So let's get to our requests that have come in. We just have a few. As you could expect, the first request is for Tesla out there. That's both for Tom G and for David in Panama City. So Tom is looking for an entry price. David is wondering where is the low, and he says next week. Maybe the low was yesterday. Let's go take a look at the charts out here. Let's start with the 15-minute time frame chart. Yesterday, as temper tantrum, was yesterday, at 3:30, generated a buy the D point bottom pattern. It did it with a bullish hammer candle on a 15-minute basis. Prices above profile resistance, above oscillator and change line. No topping signal. No reason for it not to rally further. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame chart. 30-minute time frame chart this morning's gap to the upside confirmed a buy the D point pattern. Prices trade above profile resistance. It suggested it wants to make a rally up towards 322.57. If we look at the 65-minute time frame chart, the bar that is currently in process right now completes at 11:40. So we've got another about 21 minutes. If it's a bullish engulfing candle, as it is right now, that too will form a buy the D point bottom. Now, in the case of the 65-minute time frame chart, both Top G and David, you'd be looking to see if price can close above its oscillator and change line. That would be the first inflection point for it. When price closes above that level, by the way, is around 306 and change. I'd call it probably 306.70, 75, something like that. By the way, there's also a profile that's got resistance at 298.05. We're trading at 300.69. So price is trading above profile resistance. The 130-minute time frame chart, although it does not have a bullish reversal candle or anything like that at the moment, it did get to wave number 4. As Basil will tell you, you get to wave number 4, you can do something else. Price also got to its breakout level. Didn't get all the way down there, which would have been 271. It got down to a low yesterday of 273.21. That, in essence, can be a bottom. We look at the 195-minute chart. So there's basically, these are the time frames that I use when analyzing a stock Why? Because it just trades for 6.5 hours, 390 minutes out there, and you want to make sure that you got equally timed bars. Well, you got an equally timed bars on the 30-minute, 65, a 130, and then you've got 295-minute bars. Well, turns out that yesterday's move lower found support at its breakout level, 279.41. No bottom pattern, in other words, A to B equals CD pattern. It's there, but no bullish reversal candle. But getting back to the breakout level or a level of support can, in fact, be a bottom. So you've got a bottom, in essence, signal on 195. You maybe got that bottom signal on the 130. Looks like you might get that on the 65-minute. You certainly have it on the 30, and you certainly have it on the 15-minute time frame chart. So if you're wondering why is it rallying, it's because price formed those bottoms yesterday, not today, but yesterday. Well, except for the 30-minute chart, that was today with the gap to the upside. The 65-minute is underway. On the daily time frame. So the daily time frame chart here shows that we've got an inside bar. Typically, an inside bar will tell us that what price should do is continue in the same direction that it just came from. That would be to the downside. However, I offer caution, both to you, Tom G., and to anybody else that's out there, and to David, because when we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, again, we're looking to understand how does price deal with levels of support. In this case here, its level of support was at 270.11. Well, we had 271 on the 130-minute, 270.11. So we know that price still remains above the top of its weekly profile. That is bullish. Yes, it's lost its momentum, which would require a close about 316 and change out there. But, they got the little pissy, hissy fit, temper tantrum stuff that's going on. And on a monthly basis, price is testing. In essence, it's trading just below the bottom or the top of its profile, but not by a lot. 304.62 is the top. We're at 343 out there. So Tom G was looking for an entry point out here. If you could get on an intraday basis, if you get a pullback, I'd say to the 289.45, 293.52 level, that could be it out here. Maybe you're going to be cautious and just wait to see what takes place on Monday. But at this stage of the game, what we know about Tesla is that its intraday charts have given us a bottom. The 65-minute is working on it. And the 195, 130, and weekly charts held support. So that's what's going on when we take a look at Tesla out there. The next request was, this is just coming in from Tom G, and I'm going to stick with this set of charts, see how this works for us today. I've got just really only a couple of windows that are open because everybody's asking, where's an entry point? And so I thought, well, let's go add those intraday charts to the daily, weekly, and monthly. Of course, you can always write back to me and tell me which charts work better for you. So on a monthly basis, when we take a look at Broadcom, there's no top that I see out here. Looks like it wants to rally further. The same is true for the weekly time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart would do itself justice to close above 251.88 because then that would take out a swing point high. That would be beautiful. If you take a look at the daily time frame chart, the daily time frame chart says that, let me open this up here, says does not have a, well, I take that back. Certainly has a sell the D point top with today's gap to the downside. But there's a new profile that is formed. It is a bearish structured profile, Tom, but support is at 246.83. As we take a look at Avgo, coming off of the bottom being April 7th, has price ever closed below the bottom of a profile? And the answer to that question is no. So you've got a good key piece of information here. That new profile at 246.83. You're looking for an entry point. We can go look at the intraday charts, but I would say that would be it. That's a likely outcome as long as price remains below the green oscillator and change line at 253.13. Tells us it's lost momentum. Well, if it's lost momentum, it should go test support. 246.83 is the number I would have on my pad of paper if you're trying to take a intraday trade or some type of long trade on Avgo. Now let's continue to look here. The 130-minute time frame chart formed a TD9 count top. It is formed. Its profile is below price. That's a bullish signal. I take that back. There's a new profile formed just as we came into the close last night. We're trading below that. So if Avgo, Broadcom, were to close below 246.83, its downside price target would be between 234.90 and 237.44. On a 65-minute time frame chart, we've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top now. with the gap to the downside, and price is trading below 250, 250. So the 65-minute chart's not looking that great. What I'd be watching, Tom, is the 250, 250. Does price get above it? Of course, my initial instinct, as I shared with you, was price would get back to 246.83, the bottom of its profile. Now you've got to really keep your eye on the 15-minute time frame chart and the 30-minute time frame chart, both of which have TD9 count bottom patterns. And those bottom patterns are really should be the key level here is going to be 251.77. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 248.37. 248.37. I think I was not looking at the right thing. 248.37, yeah. So if price were to close below 248.37, that then says we head lower. But we've got to remember we have support at 246.83. So that's what I see when we take a look at Avgo, Broadcom, that is, Tom. Hope that helps you out. We're going to go ahead and get the chart set up here for Riot. We're going to have a Riot here in just a few minutes. Well, of course, I didn't spell that correctly, so let's try that again. And we're going to go to a break in about 3 seconds. So during this next break here, I'm going to see if I can type in RIOT. I've screwed it up twice, but it does look like the third time is the charm. We're going to look at that. We'll take a look at Meta. We'll take a look at GDX. We'll take a look at anything that you want. You just got to either send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, or a private or public ping inside the Tiger's Den.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry's been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to go out to West Palm Beach and take a look at Riot with Dennis. And Dennis, yes, I did see the end of that basketball game last night. How about that? 1 point game out there. I'm like, who are these Oklahoma Thunder? I'm not a big NBA person, but certainly during playoffs, I like to watch the game. But you're asking about Riot. And the number that you want to have on your pad of paper is 1020. If price can close above 1020, start trading above 1020. 1020 happens to be the top of the monthly profile. You're gonna have a Riot with Riot out here. First, when we take a look, second, we take a look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, by the way, monthly time frame had a TD9 count, looked like a TD9 count. The weekly most definitely has a TD9 count bottom pattern. Price traded above profile resistance. We've been above it for 2, 3, 4 of the last 6 sessions out there. Longer term, intermediate term, Dennis, price wants to target 1263. We've got an A to B equals CD pattern that is forming right now. Volume in this so far as we speak here is 30 million shares. The swing point has 40 million shares. It's only 2 hours in trading. You've got a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, gets you towards about 1125 or so. Remember, 1263 is a weekly target out there. 130-minute chart is negating a TD9 count top as we speak. The 65-minute chart already negated a TD9 count top. Riot is heading north. So I hope that helps you out, Dennis. You also wanted to take a look at the Meta. Let's see if we can deliver similar good news for you on Meta out here. Of course, that would be assuming that you're long. I don't know whether you're long, short, just taking a look at it. But let's go ahead and pull up those charts for Meta. Facebook out here, and on the monthly time frame, we can see that price is trading above profile resistance at 653.88. That is a beautiful thing. I don't see any resistance. Price should continue to rally. The weekly time frame chart today, you would love to see it close above 688.65. We're at 694 and change. 688.65 is the weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. You close above that, you're likely headed to its highs back from the trading session of February 14th. Volume there, 67 million shares. So far this week, you've done 59 million shares. You're likely going to have the volume. The daily time frame chart is the one that says caution. Why? Because you're going to get a confirmed TD9 count top today, completed TD9 count top on Monday. Now, that may mean, because we're very bullish on the weekly and monthly chart, technically speaking, that perhaps what price is going to do here, Dennis, is just pull back to test 672 and change. 672 and change is the green oscillator and change line. If price closes below that, it could suggest lower price, doesn't guarantee lower price, but suggests lower price. And the next level of support on a daily time frame would be down at 609. But before we would get down there, we'd be dealing with profile support on the monthly time frame at 653. 195-minute time frame chart is about to complete a TD9 count top. It'll do that halfway through the trading day, 1245. 130-minute chart looks bullish. The 65-minute chart looks bullish. The 30-minute chart looks bullish out here. As long as price remains above 692.50. So, Dennis, that is Facebook, Meta out there. So hope that review helps you out as well. And as always, thank you for your request and have a wonderful weekend. ELO inside the Tigers Den wants to take a look at the GDX. So this wasn't really a question about an entry, really just a review. So for those charts, it's just really just a review versus an entry. We'll just go back to the larger one. Larger ones, that way we've got the daily cadence, so to speak, or daily, weekly, and monthly. How many dance steps to the upside and to the downside. So we take a look at the GDX. First on a daily time frame. The GDX on a daily time frame. What do we have out here? So you got a TD9 count top that formed out here on June the 2nd. That requires a close above 53.83. So 53.83 is your magic number. Close above that would negate that signal. You have a new profile that has formed today. Your support is at 51.68. 51.68 is being tested as we speak right now. Price had gapped up, pretty significant gap back on June the 2nd. We're trading into that candle session. In other words, 39 million shares of traded hands that day. We're 12 million shares today. 12 million times 3 is 36 million shares. We're pushing pretty decent volume today. Whether or not that level of volume keeps up or not, that I don't know. But if we do close below 51.68, I would hearken to say that price will pull back towards the 49.57 level. 49.57 is the weekly oscillator and change line. The weekly chart has a sell the deep point top that formed the week of April 25th with that bearish engulfing candle. That requires a close above that to negate that signal. Again, that would be the 53.25 mark. We tested it, and so far we've rejected that level. Volume on that candle session back on the trading day of April 25th was 155 million shares. In 2 hours of trading, 123 million shares. So, wow, you've got some big volume out here, but still would have the weekly top if price closes below the high that I gave you. I don't remember what that number was. On a monthly time frame for the GDX, you don't have any kind of a topping pattern. You've got an A to B equals CD. I don't have to draw that in there. You can visually see there's a couple of them. That would require at month's end a bearish reversal candle to confirm a top. So too far away to determine that. The most important element for you to be able to watch inside the GDX right now is going to be 51.68 out there to the downside. If we close below that, you should expect or anticipate a further lower move. If the GDX wants to retain its bullish ways, which it should or could, today's going to be bar number 2 to the downside. We've seen here, just simply going back to the middle of April, we've seen three 2-bar moves to the downside, 1 3-bar move to the downside. So, but you've got that profile to watch. I would be patient and watch that 51.68 level GDX. So I hope that GDX ELO. So I hope that helps you out. Mara is what we're going to go take a look at next. This is for S&P MARA. So this also is just a review of this as well as Coinbase, which I'll put up next. As we take a look at Mara, we can see that on a daily basis, price is traded with inside its profile. So what you have out here, S&P is support at 1507, resistance at 1669. 1507, 1669. And you've got a wave 7 top out there. If you take a look at the weekly time frame chart, we have a TD9 count bottom. We have a wave number 7 bottom. We have price that's trading above the top of its profile. It's possible that it's formed the C point of an A to B equals CD to the upside. Let's see. The swing point that it's trading into on a weekly basis is from May 23rd, just a couple of weeks ago. 276 million shares traded then. We are trading up right now with 205 million shares. On a daily basis, this typically does 40 million shares. So it looks like it's going to be similar or lighter, slightly lighter volume. Nonetheless, as long as price remains above $14.95, that's the top of its weekly profile, you should rally further. Price wants to go target 1958. 1958 is the weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. None of that stuff that I just said is going to matter until Mara, on a monthly basis, S&P, can clear its monthly oscillator and change line. That number is 1613. That's the magic number. You clear 1613, you're off to 1669. You clear 1669, you're off to 1958. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded under the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at Coinbase here. This is for S&P inside the Tiger's Den. S&P looks to me like what Coinbase wants to do is pull back to the 228.92 level. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, last week was a bearish engulfing candle that confirmed a weekly Gartley sell pattern out there, which should take place or unfold. This price should make its way back towards its oscillator and change line. That's printed at 230. Since the bottom of the daily profile is 228.92. I would expect or anticipate that that's what price is really set out to do at this stage here. Now, this could be, I take it back. So it looks like we may only have a 2-day pullback out here. And not that you got to get a 2-day rally. Yeah, no. So there's nothing that I'm looking at here to suggest that we shouldn't pull back to test that green oscillator and change on the weekly time frame. For my purposes, I'm going to use the bottom of that daily profile as that target zone at 228.92. Monthly time frame, by the way, is consolidated with inside its profile, bullish in structure. Longer term suggests it wants to get back up to the 309.02 level out there. But the weekly chart is one that I think is influencing things out here. That's what I see when I take a Coinbase. The next request coming in from Nicholas wants to look at ticker symbol DBVT. So let's go ahead and type that in, see what DBVT is doing, and then we're going to take a look at, after that, ABBV for Dennis. Now, Dennis, as I look at the daily time frame, which has a TD9 count top, there is an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside that is formed. Now, the volume on the B point is 341,000 shares. It was passed with 39,000 and then 19,000. Yikes. Well, you still have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. It would look something like this as we draw it in, although it has not been confirmed with volume out there. But just remember that it's still out there as a potential that would take it, gets you down to the $5 level. Now let's go look at the weekly chart. The weekly time frame chart has a sell the D point top that formed 2 weeks ago with that bear sash candle. Now its work to the downside may be done. The reason is because prices pull back tested this week and now rejecting its green oscillator and change line. So that, in essence, is a buy point on an intermediate term basis as long as price remains above that level. This suggests that price should go retarget the top of its weekly profile at 1067. Okay, so now we know what the weekly chart has done. We go back to the daily, and the daily, which doesn't have any kind of a bottom pattern, should rally up towards where it would have a counter trend move, would be between 896 and 920. So therefore, Nicholas, for DBVT, because the weekly has completed its pattern to the downside, appears that it has, we should see a further rally, although this could be day number 4 of a rally. I do see 5 days out here previously, but you're getting close to a point where it should pull back for a couple of days. But I believe that is watch 920. If price closes above 920, then the move to the upside on the daily time frame is more than a counter trend rally. On a monthly basis out here, price is trading above 832. That's a positive. That's a monthly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. So, Nicholas, that was DBVT. You also want to take a look at ABBV. So let's get that up on the screen here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 requests. I may speed things up a bit here. So ABBV is consolidating inside its daily profile. It's going to confirm a TD9 count top today, complete that pattern on Monday. What price should do is pull back to the following numbers. 185.86 is the first target. Second target is really 185.40. Third target, 182.37. On a weekly basis, while the daily is confirming a TD9 count top, price has gotten up just towards its oscillator and change line. So with price below that and below profile support, it supports the idea of a pullback, at least on the daily time frame. Monthly chart is bullish from the standpoint it's trading above profile, but it has lost momentum out there. So it's going to be controlled by the daily time frame, Nicholas. That's what you need to watch. See if price holds. Most certainly 182.37. If that level fails, you're headed lower. Let's go check out PNY. This is for Marty. Marty's wondering, is it a buy? So let's see if we can get this done just from the daily time frame chart. So we take a look at Pony. It's updating. I think it was PNY. Did I type something in correctly? I probably did. Oh, bummer. Let me go to the next instrument out here, Marty. During the last break, I'll go back and find your email because clearly I typed in something incorrectly. Let's take a look at TNGX. This is for Rye. The question on TNGX is where to add on a pullback. Well, you're in bar number 8 today on TNGX. So that says you're going to get a TD9 count top that forms between today and Tuesday. What should then unfold, I would expect or anticipate, is a pullback to support, and support is all the way back down at $2.81. And we're talking at 418. Is that a possibility? It most certainly is a possibility to pull all the way back there. At a minimum, I would think you would get at least a 2-day pullback. So, Marty, you're saying where's the buy? I'd watch volume on a pullback. Again, the pattern still has to go ahead and confirm and complete. It won't do that until Monday and then Tuesday. Weekly chart looks very good. Looks like we get a weekly close above $3.06. That's after a TD9 count bottom. That tells us that this thing has definitely bottomed. And it looks like on a monthly time frame, well, the issue with TNGX for the monthly chart is that price has to pull back and close at the end of the month. Maybe it's not the issue, but it's got to close and pull back below 207 to confirm a TD9 count bottom. Right now, what it's dealing with out here, Marty, is resistance, which is the top of the monthly profile, and that's at the price point of 437. So I hope that helps you out. But Guppy wants to take a look at APP. Let's get that up on our screen out here. Hopefully quickly out here. APP and a daily time frame, you're going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top today, completed on Monday. Price should pull back to 406.21-ish. Below that, 380.70. The weekly time frame chart looks bullish, so it looks like this is a short-term pullback on a daily time frame, whether it's a price or time being 2 or 3 bars out there. That's what it looks like APP wants to do. The monthly time frame chart is bullish, price above profile resistance and its oscillator and change line. So it's just the daily time frame that is suggesting it wants to get a pullback going sometime between at least start that process by the end of Monday, beginning of Tuesday out there. You also wanted to take a look at CCAP. So there you were looking just simply for support and resistance levels. So you'll see these on the screen, but we got a minute here before we go to break, so that shouldn't be a problem. The first level of support out here is going to be 1462. That's coming from the brand new daily profile. There's a bullish structured profile, and that says that between 1488, I believe is the number, let me make sure, 1486. You got buy zone between 1462 and 1486. Oscillator and change line, 1498. Profile resistance, 1570. Weekly time frame chart. Price is trading into its TD knockout bottom candle on a weekly basis. That was the week of April 11th. Volume, 1.5 million shares there. Today, you're going to do 1.1 million shares. So price appears to be pulling back on lighter volume out there, but it's still inside the profile and below the oscillator and change line. Price could easily go back and test those lows from April the 11th. It won't do that unless we get it closed below 1462. So 1462 is the number that you're going to want to watch there. And finally, on the monthly time frame, no support. Well, I take that back. Support on a monthly basis would be its breakout level. That's at $11.62. Resistance right now between 1785 and 1852. That is the monthly time frame. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Taseko Mines, TGB, is the ticker symbol for Mary Jo in Naples. Mary Jo, this thing looks like it wants to continue to move higher. I do not have any kind of a topping signal out here for the daily. Daily negated a TD9 count topping pattern a couple of days ago. Weekly's trading above profile resistance. Monthly's trading above profile resistance. It's going to go. It's targeting a swing point for back in May of 2024. Volume there, 86 million shares. It's too early in the month to really do any kind of volume metric out there. So that's what's going on with regard to TGB. We're going to finish off the show looking at Pony. We're looking at Pony for Marty. Question is it a buy? It's a tough one. So the weekly time frame, price found support at its weekly buy zone. That's between 1365 and 1478. That's after the daily formed a Rhodes Momentum indicator top. Now price closed below its profile, but a new profile is formed this morning. It's a bullish structured profile. So support here is 1293. I do not have a bottom pattern other than weekly getting back to support out there. If I look at a 195-minute time frame chart, I don't have a bottom pattern, but I do have price traded with inside its profile. The only bottom signal comes from the 130-minute time frame chart and the 15-minute time frame chart. The 130 is a wave number 7 bottom. That's going to require a close above 1498 to confirm that bottom till you've got mojo to the upside. The 30-minute time frame chart is going to run into resistance at 1458. We're trading at 1430 right now. Closed above 1458. Closed above 1494. Both of those would be very good things. And on a 15-minute basis out here, it looks to me like an A to B equals CD pattern that is unfolding to the upside. So is it a buy? I wish I had a daily bottom pattern out there. But what I have done is I provide you with the best information that I can. So just consider that. There's also a weekly bottom, by the way. So there's a weekly Rhodes Momentum indicator bottom pattern out here. And price, again, like I say, it's just the daily that had the topping signal. Price did find support at its weekly buy zone. Folks, thanks so much for joining me today on Fabulous Friday. I want you to have a fantastic one, but more importantly, a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there. I will look forward to seeing you again Monday morning, 11 a.m. sharp. Take care and be safe out there.